Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Bros here with a video about the state of PvP. Now, the funny thing about this video is that it was going to be a review on this scout here on the screen called the Imperative, which is from the new game mode that they put into Destiny. It's kind of like the menagerie of this new DLC Shadowkeep, which is really fun, which is really dope. The weapons are great. You can farm them for god rolls, and the drop rate is insane. There's 3 phases. After each phase, you get a random weapon or piece of gear from this, and you can get the frames from Ikora and do the frames actually inside of the uh, Vex Offensive Mine, which is what it's called. So, very easy to get this, very easy to farm this. Definitely, highly recommend you guys do this. But I was going to make the video about the Scout and about how good it is because the Scout is incredible. And I think it's like the perfect Scout to go for Randy's Throwing Knife with, which is the new pinnacle PvP scout. If you don't know, well, it's called Ritual now. But this is like the perfect scout to go for that with. Now, I farmed this and got a few rolls of it. I didn't really necessarily get an absolute god roll, but I did get a few great rolls. One of the rolls that I want to say you should shard immediately is Outlaw and Multi-Kill Clip. Now, you guys can try it out, but it's honestly nothing special. I highly recommend Rampage over Kill Clip, and I think it's the best perk you can get on the scout. The second best perk I think you can get is no distractions. So any form or combination of those two, I would say try it out before deleting it. So if you get no distractions with anything or rampage with anything, give it a twirl. Now, with that being said, I don't want to talk too much more about the scout rifle. I just want you guys to know that it's a very, very good scout rifle. It's one of my favorites in the game. And if you're going for any throwing knife, pick one of these up and go to Crucible. And this will make it a lot easier, in my opinion, especially if you get Rampage and you can get it to stack and, guys line up for you. But moving on, I want to say I've been playing Crucible for, since it came out, since this DLC came out. And more than ever have I seen scout rifles. Now, I know why, or I hope I know why. The Randy's Throwing Knife quest, I'm hoping, is the reason that there's so many scout rifles in PvP. Now, before I continue with that statement, there's nothing wrong with scout rifles. I don't have anything against scout rifles. I don't think that they're broken or anything like that. I don't think that they're cheesy. Nothing like that. I do think that they're fairly easy to use. They have some of the, least flinch, some of the best aim assists, some of the, they're some of the easiest weapons to use. And this is no knock or hate on scout rifles because they're so one-dimensional. You basically have to be far away. So even though I said all those things about it, it doesn't work past long range. You can't run up on somebody on B flag and have a scout rifle out. You'll die every time. You can't be close to mid range with a scout rifle. You'll die every time. So there's no hate towards scout rifles at all. I want you guys to keep that in mind as I continue with this video. Now, I've been playing a lot of PvP. Iron Banner's out if you guys don't know. And holy shit, man. Every team has 4 or 5 scouts. And they are sitting in the back of the map. And it is almost unplayable at times. Now, I'm having a lot of fun in Iron Banner. But when we get maps like Widow's Court. And sometimes people use scouts on any map. But when we get maps like Widow's Court, which I absolutely adored in Destiny 1, it is basically ruined for me because there is nothing but scout rifle players sitting in the back. And I know you're probably watching this, you're probably saying, yeah, that's a scout rifle map. That's a big map. This is true. Which is why I don't have an issue with scout rifles and people picking them. The thing that I have an issue with, and the reason that I'm making this video, is because of the playstyles that have budded from the changes in Shadowkeep. So, we know hand cannon's range got nerfed, pulse rifle range got nerfed. So if somebody puts on a scout and they sit in the back of the map, you basically cannot contest them unless you put on that same scout or a scout with as much range and challenge them, from across the other side of the map. Which creates a very boring, annoying playstyle to go against, and it can be very tilting, it can be very frustrating. So even in quick play, and like I said, I hope this is tied to the Randy Throwing Knife quest, but I'm honestly not sure. I think people are going to do this quest and they're going to see how good scouts are because I personally, call me crazy, think scouts are the meta. With the lack of range on pulses and hand cannons now, I think scouts are the meta. And it's totally okay for them to be meta. I just wish, and the reason I'm making a video is I just wish people wouldn't play the way that they do with scouts. Sometimes I will die to the same guy 3 times in a row. And I know you can say, hey, well, why are you going that way? Why you keep... I don't expect the guy to sit in the same spot for 3 lives in a row. Now, the third time I said, okay, oh shit. All right, let me go the other way. Let me go around. Let me get behind him or something, right? But I play with the flow of the game. I'm aggressive. So if I die to a scout in the back of the map, I'm going to complain, I'm going to spawn up, and I'm going to run the same way and assume that he got the kill and rotated. Now, obviously, a lot of players don't do that, and they just sit in one spot and they just keep pat, pat, pat. And that's what the Crucible is. That's my experience with the Crucible. And I wanted to make this video to talk about it because I wanted to know what you guys' experience with the Crucible is as well. Do you guys see as many scouts as I see? Is it my elo? Is it my matchmaking? Because, man, it is Scout City. And it's fine to put on a scout. Just don't play like a bitch. You have to put a second weapon on. You got a shotgun, you know, an SMG. A lot of people still running recluse, sidearms. Like it's okay to push up and use your other weapon, and then switch to your scout when it's time to. There's a time and place for a scout, but it's not all 10 minutes of the game in the back of the map. Please. So I think the changes were good with Shadowkeep. They made scouts very strong with the sandbox changes, which, like I said a million times, is okay, but just don't be the guy that's gonna abuse it and sit in the back of the map and just be on heads all game. It is you're a dick. Oh, and something I want to point out in this gameplay, I'm in the classic mix playlist, so obviously the competition is not the greatest. It's not Iron Banner what I've been experiencing the past few days, which is what I'm actually talking about and ranting about. But this gameplay was a week before, and it was when I was going for my Raini's throwing knife. Now that I'm playing IB, I have my Raini's throwing knife, and I'm mostly using hand cannon. That's all I'm seeing is scout spam. You can watch my live streams and see that for yourself and see how I feel about it. But yeah, I want to just emphasize again, there's no hate against scouts. There's no hate against scout rifle players that main it. Because I know some really good scout rifle players that they don't sit in the back with the scout. They'll use the scout when it's time. They'll push up with the secondary. They'll get the secondary kill. They'll back up a little bit, pull the scout back out. You know, when they see the enemy spawn, catch somebody coming off spawn, push up with the... You know, there's ways to do it other than I'm just going to sit back and hold down my L2 button. And when I see somebody peek, I'm going to start pressing my R2, you know, R right trigger. That's not fun, but I guess people will do anything to get kills. And I think I realized that about the Destiny community, the PvP community, is that no matter what Bungie does, no matter how Bungie makes this game, people are going to find something and abuse it. And right now, I think it is the scout spam. I feel like I'm playing D2 trial sometimes where, you know, if you remember that, it was just 2, 3, 4 scout rifles laning you, or pulses, or gravitons, or vigilant swings, whatever. And I see a lot of that. It's not just one guy in the back. It's usually 2 or 3 guys, and they're usually rolling together. So, I want you guys to let me know in the comment section if anyone else is going through this, because it's really gotten under to my skin to the point where this was going to be a review video about the scout, but I said, you know what? Let's talk about the meta. Let's talk about PvP. Let's talk about scout rifles, because there's so many. Do you guys think it's the quest, or do you guys think this is actually going to be the thing? Because scouts actually got a major buff, indirect buff, because of the nerfs to hand cannons and pulses. So now they are king. They're hard to challenge at far range. Like before, you know, Not Forgotten could beat a pulse. I mean, excuse me, could beat a scout, and all pulses will beat all scouts. So scouts were completely irrelevant. But now that scouts are here, I personally think people, even if they had no intentions of using scouts just to do it for the quest, are going to say, damn, scouts are actually really good. Let me not put this down. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please, please, please sign off in the comments. This is like a discussion starter video. And other than that, man, when I get in lobbies that don't have scouts, I'm having a blast. But the lobbies with 4 or 5 scouts and the way that they play with those scouts can easily ruin a bunch of PvP games for me. It has ruined a bunch of PvP games for me. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. And please, even if you like or dislike, drop in the comments how you feel about, you know, the state of PvP and if you go through the same thing that I go through. And if you made it this far to the video, I want you to watch the rest of it. It's just a little bit of gameplay, aggressive scout rifle gameplay. I think it's the perfect showing of how you can still be aggressive even though you have a scout on. You don't have to sit in the back of the map. So pay attention, guys. Take a little bit of tips. And thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all next time.
Wounds are your life, Guardian. Keep fighting. You'll get it.
It's another gameplay I can say.
Your opponents are pulling away. Drag them back. Triple down. Fantastic work. You're unstoppable.
Oh my god.
for the rest of us. Down. You're in the lead. Double down. Triple down. Look at them fall. Fire team that fights together stays together. Keep this up and the battle is yours. I wouldn't give to fight again beyond the walls. I would tear out a Vex's heart with my teeth. I would sear the Cabal with my burning light, challenge the fallen Kells to personal combat and scatter them. I've been watching too many Crucible matches. I have no excuses for sloppy technique.
36 Street.